The Untouched Room as we play podcast. Now, I'm employing in the barn as I empty out. For those new listeners, I've been on this farm 37 years or so. I've collected countless things related to planetariums and music in this old barn. My wife got the house, I got the barn. I thought it was 50-50. So, doesn't explain why I'm in the coop now. That's a different story entirely. But what I'm finding is random shrouding is a term I'd like to coin right now. When you've got a million pieces of junk, you've got to have random access to them if you don't throw them away. For years, I would throw them in old garbage cans or in sacks. I was still doing that last year. And then you immediately, once you lose sight of them, then you've lost everything. You've lost control. Like some say, I've done that already. How many of me are there? I don't even know that. I lost count. But so what you do is the stuff that you just can't bear to lose, you create tables. So one, that uses up your big stuff. Like the roller rink cabinets that I just couldn't part with. They were too big. I think, well, it's not famous in my mind. When I say famous, I mean, in my own living room. I made tables out of them. Then I placed as many of my can't lose items on the tables. But then the key is you shroud them. Now, I've been buying, and I'm ready to order another roll. I've been buying table wrap. It's very cheap. It's very thin. Some may remember I used that as my final dome surface. I went through a number of different dome reflective surfaces before my 15-foot came tumbling down. That's another whole story. In fact, that's a prologue to one of my hopeful publications. But anyway, when the 15 came tumbling down, oh, I can still hear that roar. I can still see myself going, oh, I'm glad I wasn't in that when that came down. But it came down on its own. It leaned. Gravity did the work. I didn't have to take a final sledgehammer. Thank goodness. So you put everything randomly on tables that you've constructed. Then you cover it with shrouding. And then you can always pull that shrouding off and find what you're looking for and put it back on. Also, though, it reminds you of the ghost world, and that's publishing now is, what's the online I can't think of the name. Kindle. It's all black and white. Who can afford color or anything? So, but you may as well get used to black and white. In fact, I keep an old Photoshop software. I'm now converting color pictures into black and white pictures. Color pictures don't tend to, from what I'm told, I'm not a photo guy, but they don't reproduce well necessarily in black and white. So you create this black and white image. Now that's a little article I sent to the IPS. I'm hoping gets considered for a quick publication. But so you create the random access that you need, but it's also a look. It's a mood. It's part of that melancholy. Some of my barn pictures in Remy, the French photographer's book, was a melancholy feeling. And this is how you kill two birds with one slingshot, or however that goes. I'll check with Urania. She wrote all those. By the way, don't worry about the black hole that the muses are falling into. They're muses. They know how to handle. They're 9-foot ghosts. Okay, they're 5,000 years old. They sprang from Zeus's imagination. I think they can get out of a black hole. If you know what I mean. If they can't, who can? So anyway, that's the technique I'm using now. I'm using the random. And it's shabby. Yeah, I like shabby. Why can't I walk around shabby? Oh, you have no idea. Hang out. We're glad you're here.